Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings. Hey guys, how we all doing? I said I'd be back and I'm sporting my big hair. I washed my hair last night and I get so hot in the night that I kind of just scrunch it up and stick it in a bun, but because it was damp, I literally only took it out about half an hour ago, so I've got lots of like crinkle curls. My hair is just generally a big wavy mess anyway, so I just sprayed hairspray, head upside down. I thought I'd embrace the wild side. So I'm super excited today because something pretty epic happened yesterday. For those of you that don't know, when I post a video and you get the notification, I try to speak to as many of you as I can as the comments first start coming in, because there are so many of you now. After an hour, I generally don't. I might tune in a couple of days later just to see what everyone's been saying in case I've missed anything. But generally you get an hour of my time and then it's just, it goes crazy. But a problem I have is sometimes you guys try and start conversations with me and I can reply to you once, but then I can never find your message again. So if anyone knows how I can do that, please feel free to let me know. But otherwise, if you want to have a general chit chat with me, you can email me. I do try to get through my emails on a regular basis, and it's accordingtotaz@gmail.com. So I hope to hear from you there. Any ideas, any tidbits, anything that you'd like to see, please do not be offended if I don't actually read your email. It's purely just because what with Twitter, there's quite a lot of you and I don't have staff because it's just me. So the reason why I started rambling about that is a very nice lady called Angela commented on the video and she said, "You're on TV." No, I'm not. I occasionally get a mention in the newspapers and I've pinned it to my last video up the top if you want to have a look. I'm actually going to show you a clip here because I couldn't quite believe it myself. I come in at about 1 minute and 9 seconds just after Meghan speaks.
They are going to Netflix.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have officially gone Hollywood.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have signed a very lucrative deal with Netflix.
We're talking tens of millions of pounds.
At least $50 million.
$100 million.
Now we finally know what they've really been up to.
We're told it's going to include scripted series, docu-series, documentaries, features, and even children's programming.
We do know that a nature doco-series and a series about inspiring women is already in the works.
I think one of the attractions of Netflix for Harry and Meghan is that it's global.
Television and film is one of the most effective ways to influence people, right? And they're very well aware of that.
It's something that I look forward to being a part of. And being a part of using my voice in a way that I haven't been able to.
Sorry, but no chance in hell.
Do you think if he wasn't Prince Harry and she wasn't Meghan from Suits who married Prince Harry, Netflix would have given them more than £1.50?
So now, darlings, I am absolutely famous. I can't possibly keep on with doing these videos now because, well, as my husband said last night, my head is going to get too big. I will be too famous to go anywhere. People will be asking me for autographs. I mean, what do I do now? I can't wait for the offers to start coming in. Maybe Netflix will get in touch with me, although I wouldn't work with them. Loose Women, could I go on Loose Women and chat crap all day? Potentially. How about starting up my own chat show, because I am just so fabulous. I could have mojitos, guests coming in. I think I'd give Graham Norton a run for his money. What do you guys think? Obviously, I'm never going to be like that, but I did find it quite a shocking moment. I never thought that I'd be on TV. It is for a nanosecond, admittedly, but it was perfectly timed straight after Meghan giving her blah, blah, word salad, blah. And yeah, they could have picked a better clip of me, but as most people said, me doing that pretty much summed up how the rest of the world feels about Meghan. So now I'm on TV, whoop, whoop. So lots of you have kindly been asking about my mum. We still haven't heard anything from the surgeons. She's had the scan sent to them, but unfortunately because of, well, it's just excuses at the moment, that because of the worldwide bug, no one can get into a hospital to have a normal appointment. You can't actually go see your doctor, so it's all up in the air. But what she's decided to do is go on holiday with her side of the family. She's been down caravanning it up in, I think she went to somewhere near Dorset. But you know, she's doing great. She's obviously a bit whoop, And as I said, it's just hard for her because she's got no idea what's going on. But, so thank you again for all of your well wishes, and let's get on with the ex-royals. So we don't have a week go by where we don't actually hear from Harry and Meghan on a Zoom call. So much for privacy, eh guys? But Meghan's done a Zoom call with Smartwork celebrating a year of her sellout clothing collection that she did, the clothing capsule. The most overrated, boring clothing collection I'd ever seen. I never really took to this particular venture of hers. I think it would have been better that Meghan used her platform to encourage people to donate worthwhile kind of pieces of clothing to the charity, rather than her designing her kind of, well, she didn't design it, did she? Rather than her picking bits, making it her clothing capsule. She obviously got her friend Misha Nunu from the Soho House Club set friends that she had. She got involved and she designed a white shirt. But generally, I mean, the collection itself was boring, dated, if I'm honest. Pretty much built for a woman of one particular size, I'd say, as well. Plus the stock, it's a great way for all these huge companies that the pieces actually belong to clear out stock that this just wasn't selling, because they can then write it off as a tax deduction because it's gone to charity. It was because every bit of it, when she first went to see them, it was all pictures of Meghan. When she wrote about it, you know, it was Meghan talking about her time there. When she did the speech, you know, it was, you know, she obviously did the pictures with the models. A lot of the pictures that got released were pictures of Meghan playing, Meghan posing, Meghan with the models, Meghan pretending she's all shy, you know, and I just felt it was very much about Meghan rather than the actual women. I would have rather heard, you know, when they did the speech, hearing from, you know, a couple of the women that maybe had found successful jobs by using Smartworks, but everything is about Meghan, and that was a particular venture that I found it very odd for a member of the royal family. I don't know how it works, whether Meghan just went off and did her own thing, but I don't know, I just didn't find it particularly, I don't know, what would you call it, humanitarian or a worthwhile cause. Now, I'm going to say something here, and I don't want anyone to get upset, because I have never, ever, ever criticised Meghan on the way she looks. I'm not about to start. But as someone pointed out on Twitter, she has changed a lot. Every single video, she almost looks like a completely different person. Maybe she's had work done. Maybe it's a bit of weight gain, weight loss, filters. I don't know, or it's just the way that she's got her hair. But she really has changed. And the videos are only weeks apart, and sometimes she can look really kind of slim in the face, and then other times she kind of, I don't know, as I said, I'm not criticising her as a woman on her looks, but she changes every single video, and she is beginning to morph into Kim Kardashian. But they say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so I bet Kim's probably really happy about it. But she does, doesn't she? It's that communal narcissism again, like I was talking about. Look how wonderful I am, I've managed to do this. Oh, I'm so proud of you guys. She just comes across as so fake to me. So the gossip mill has gone into overdrive. It's been reported on social media, and the first person that I saw is Jules. She's quite a regular on Twitter. If you don't follow her, she comes up with some really, really interesting stuff. But this is quite, I don't know, I find it quite believable. Meghan has reportedly written to the DNC, which is the Democratic National Convention, and she wrote to the organisers using her HRH title, which she's not supposed to do anymore. She had reportedly asked to replace Kerry Washington as the host, and when this was turned down, she wanted to be a speaker, but on the same night as Michelle Obama. Obviously this got turned down, and apparently she threw a wobbler, her team threw a wobbler. So to pacify the situation, they'd managed to get her a last-minute slot on When All Women Vote. You remember that thing where it came up and she wasn't a speaker originally, and then at the last second she was announced as a speaker. So that kind of does add up, doesn't it? The dots do connect, that it was a last-minute thing, they were trying to pacify her. Just goes to show the size of her ego that she thinks that she can replace Kerry Washington and she can speak on the same night as Michelle Obama. Woo! And more interestingly, she was not meant to sway the votes one way or the other. She was meant to remain neutral, but she quite clearly was going with one direction of who people need to vote for, because we should change who's in power now. And apparently that didn't go down too well, so I can't imagine that they're going to use her again anytime soon. But it goes to show that if they did say that to her, and as I said, I don't have, you know, proof of this, but this is just what's been said, and if it is true, then it goes to show that she's not listening to anyone. one. They gave her a slot on the show. It was about encouraging women to vote, but it wasn't supposed to be a democratic, you need to vote this way. So she just doesn't follow the rules, which I don't think is going to gain her much popularity, or people are going to be willing to sign her up to stuff. So next story, there might actually be trouble in paradise. USA Today has reported on Harry and Meghan having an absolute shouting match at a restaurant. They apparently didn't care who heard, and it resulted in Harry getting up, storming off, and Meghan apparently just sat there and showed no emotion, no expression, sociopath, and sat there and sipped her glass of wine like she didn't have a care in the world. So if they're arguing in public, which is quite believable because Harry's always been a bit of a hothead, but the fact that she sat there ice cold, didn't leave anything, you know, as I said, that is, he must have severely been in the doghouse, and I bet he slept with one eye open that night, or she just literally she's got no emotion there. We've all said it, sociopath, psychopath, who knows what the argument was about. But I do wonder, is it this picture that got packed and spread around social media that I showed in the video? Because if you look here, she's got the glass of white wine there. She does not look happy. Well, she doesn't actually look any emotion there, not expressive at all. Harry looks furious. So this could actually be the place that they had the argument. But, you know, they're a couple, they're married, we all argue. I occasionally argue with my husband. It doesn't last very long. But for Harry to storm out of the restaurant and for them to have been that loud, maybe there is problems in paradise. So if she was really angry at Harry, this might be why people are raising a few eyebrows about the fact that there was no birthday celebration stories that came out. Not Omid saying that Meghan threw Harry this lovely social distancing birthday party. She didn't use any sort of social media accounts to wish her husband happy birthday. Not a peep. And you know Meghan and Harry like to have everything publicised, and the fact that Omid said nothing, we've had no stories that Meghan was baking him, you know, a perfect organic cake, which leads me to believe that Harry was definitely in the doghouse. Now, another news story has broken about the couple that they are going to appear on Time's 100 most influential people, and this is the first time that they're going to televise the event. But it's a wordplay. People have been saying, how can they appear on that? They're not influential, they're not liked at all. But when you read the wording, they are appearing on the show. And when they showed the clip that I saw, when they were talking about pioneers, artists, icons, they weren't showing pictures of Harry and Meghan, and it does say that they will make an appearance on the show. And following on from that sentence, it then goes on about the entertainers that will be there. They're Jennifer Hudson, The Weeknd. So they're not actually put into the bracket of being one of the Times 100. They're actually being put in the bracket that they're being brought on for the entertainment. And I'm just going to take a guess here, and this is completely just a gut instinct, that I can see that they will come on and discuss Diana, because Diana was obviously one of the most influential women in the world for a long time, fashion influencer. She did make it into the Times magazines on a number of occasions. So this would be the perfect example for Harry and Meghan to do what they do best, and Harry can sit there and talk about if his mother was alive now. Meghan can give her input about, oh, you know, Diana was the absolute fashion influencer and probably the person that Meghan has stalked most in her life. So what happens, like I say, every time when Harry and Meghan get a lot of bad press? Well, Archie occasionally gets wheeled out, although it's a real rarity now, but they also get seen doing charitable things. Now, they haven't been seen, but what they have done, which has been well publicised, they have made a $130,000 donation to a charity called CamFed. The reason why they have done this is the Sussex squad, and I can't knock them for this, they seem to be raising in a wonderful amount of money to go towards charities, but they raised £129,000. It's a lot of money for a fan base to have raised together. So Harry and Meghan have reportedly matched that payment and sent it along to CamFed. Harry has visited them out in Africa, but it does make you question, there's so much stuff going on in the world at the moment. Why not donate to, you know, people that are struggling in Los Angeles, for example? Families are really beginning to struggle out there, especially in LA, because it's like the epicenter of what's going on at the moment. It's one of the worst affected areas in the world. CamFed helps with girls' education out in the African schools. And, you know, it's wonderful that Harry is still obviously donating, but you've got to think, is he donating just because the Sussex squad have actually come up with that money? So it would have looked bad if the fans had donated and Harry and Meghan didn't put any money to it. But then also, where has he got that money from? Now, several things that bug me here is there's so many famous people that do charity donations, we never hear about it. We might hear about it 6 months, 10 years later and stuff. And I just, as I said, it's that communal narcissism. As soon as they do anything, it has to be completely publicized. And I think, again, that takes the kind of the true meaning behind it, doesn't it? It kind of just makes it like they're doing it for self-promotion. Look at us, aren't we wonderful? We've donated to charities. But the biggest question that people are beginning to ask is, what did actually happen with that 3 million, I can't remember if it's pound or dollars, donation to go towards the elephant charities? Have any of you ever seen any of the Elephants Without Borders, for example, any of those charities ever do a post saying, thank you so much for this huge donation? I know that I haven't, correct me if I'm wrong, but that does beg the question, because a 3 million donation, that charity would have actually, you know, posted something online, posted it to the newspapers, but it's been radio silence. And the other thing is as well, people did donate to the Sussex Royal. When they were part of the Royal Foundation, people donated there. William and Catherine, when they split, they gave a share of the stuff that had been donated since Harry and Meghan had joined to pay into their Sussex Royal account. Now, Sussex Royal has had then its own various donations from who knows, Lord knows, probably a lot of Russian oligarchs. But when that money then got transferred to Travelist, which is then Harry's company, what has happened to that money now that it's been transferred to Harry's personal company? The original monies were given as a donation to go towards charitable causes. Then it's gone to Travelist, which isn't a charitable cause. So what is happening to that money? And it seems to be very, very quiet. Now, I'm not saying they have done this, but would we find it that out there that Harry would use the donations given by the public to then make a donation to a charity to go, aren't we fabulous? We've paid $130,000. As I said, I'm not saying this is what they have done, but there's a lot of questions being raised. Where did that money go? How did they manage to transfer money that was given as a donation to a charity, Sussex Royal, into Harry's personal business? Is that money now deemed as theirs? What are they doing with that money? Is it in sort of some sort of holding account to donate to charitable causes? Why have they not used that money to donate to lots of charities? It's lots of questions like that, and let's be honest, we're finding out more links with Soho House, with buying houses, which it was on the market 5 years ago, their new house, for $34 million. They got it for what, 14? Again, a Russian oligarch who's a little bit shady. He's got a bit of a shady past. So Lord knows what these two are mixing themselves up with. There's no such thing as a free meal from people like that. But as I've always said, there is never a dull moment with these two. I can't help but feel that everything they do is to, one, get self-praise. Absolutely. They want people to praise them and go, aren't they wonderful? They're such humanitarians. But people don't trust them because of the way that they've treated their family, their friends, just their general behaviour. So you can't see, I wouldn't say either of them are particularly nice or kind people. So to me, it just seems fake. I'm going to read you a little bit here to do with communal narcissism, which I managed to read up. And it says, it's someone that seeks praise for doing charitable things. It's not about wanting to help people. It's about getting attention and praise for helping those people. They are different to a grandiose narcissist who wants to be seen as the most smartest and the most powerful. Instead, they wish to be seen as the kindest, the most giving and the most helpful. And that's a lot of the behaviour that you see with Meghan. And that's why Harry and Meghan seem to jump to all of these different causes. They don't stick to anything. They just want to be the person that looks like they're getting involved the most. They're doing the most to help the world, but they've got no continuity with it. I think part of the reason why Meghan initially hated being part of the royal family is she expected to get adulation straight away. And to be honest with you, she got a lot of stuff straight away. She got the patronages, she got fast-tracked into the royal family. The UK public loved her because it was Harry's wife, but she slowly ate away at that. But it's all been her own doing, but she can't see that due to being a narcissist. It seems to be everyone else's fault, and Harry, it does seem to be that he does share similar traits to Meghan, sadly. They just can't understand why we don't see them as the most wonderful couple ever, the most wonderful couple to join the royal family. Why don't we all fall down and go, right, okay, let's get rid of the Queen and Philip and Charles and Catherine and William. Let's make them king and queen. It's slightly crazy and deluded, but when you read up about narcissism, they're not quite, all the chips aren't there, if you know what I mean. So that's the end of this video. Please tell me what you think. I hope you've enjoyed the two separate kind of videos. I've had lots of compliments from the last video below, and I hope you like this video. I obviously did separate them both. It depends what's been going on. Obviously with the bug keeping them locked up, we haven't seen that much of the royal family, but now that they're coming out and beginning to go back on royal visits, I'll have a lot more to report on. So I might do this. I might do a real royal video and then an ex-royal video, but tell me what you think. I hope you guys have a lovely weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.